This is. They saw that. Oh, I love it. I'll say the issue. We got some.
Lisa, give me thumbs up when you're ready. Okay.
But you will go back because I ditched out. With my family.
What?
You did not, you know.
What?
No, they don't, no, one of you would have told me.
A decision on what?
No.
Golf carts? Oh, yeah.
But what you said.
All of us were scared.
We just, he says, we're too unique. South Weaver's too unique.
So when did that go on?
Or we have a schooner service available late. Yeah. But then you can now. You have to. Sorry, we're gonna break tonight. I was gonna see my son. He said that you just.
Okay, we'd like to welcome everyone to our South Weaver City Council meeting. We're just a few minutes late. We apologize. We just came from our work session. Today is Tuesday, June the 9th, 2026. We'll begin this evening with a pledge of allegiance from Councilman Windsor, and then Council Member Petty will give us a prayer.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Father in heaven, we come before thee with gratitude for the many blessings that thou hast given us and for the opportunity we have to meet together and make decisions on behalf of our beautiful community that we share. We ask that that will help us to have an open heart and open minds and be able to discuss the needs of our residents. We're so grateful for our fire and our sheriffs and our police and military, and bless them and ask a blessing upon their families as they serve us, and help us that we may have a good day this day. And we love thee and say these things in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. We appreciate that pledge and that prayer. We'll begin with public comments. If you've got a comment, we'd ask you to come to the microphone and state your name and city in which you reside. You'll be allowed 3 minutes or less to speak. Please be respectful and direct your comments to the entire council.
Paul Sturm, South Weaver City. My comment has to do with the open house that we had for the Public Works facility. It was from 4 to 6 on a Wednesday night, on a Wednesday. And everybody in this city pays taxes that's going to help pay for that. I believe that that should have been arranged for like a Saturday so that more people within the city could attend that. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul. Any other comments? Okay, we'll move along. We have a presentation, a special presentation that we'd like to make tonight. Brian Wageman, we'd like for you to come up to that microphone right there. This is totally awesome. Brian has been with South Weber City for 30 years. Just highlight a couple of things here for Brian. Brian is the type of employee who arrives early, stays late, and takes personal ownership of his responsibility. One of Brian's greatest strengths is his ability to work with the public. How true that is. He does not seek recognition or special attention. He simply does what is needed to be done when it needs to be done. And he does it in an exceptional way. Brian's work ethic, professionalism, and dedication sets the standard for others to follow. South Weber has greatly benefited from Brian's decades of service, and we are very fortunate to have him on our team. And we do, Brian. It's great. Thank you so much for all that you've done for South Weber City. You've been an excellent employee and benefited, the city has benefited greatly from your employment here. And I think Dave would like to make a few comments. So we'll
I may not be the only one, but the city's years of service kind of recognition and program hasn't been around a long time, but one of the things that we like doing when an employee hits the mile markers of 10, 20, 30, if we ever hit a 40, is to come and bring them to the city council and have this public moment, which I think is really special. And I hope that it comes across that way. But I wanted to take a moment to identify just a couple of things. In 1996, when Brian started working for South Weber City, the #1 movie was Independence Day. Other movies that came out that year, Mission Impossible, the first one, Scream, the first one, there are now 7 of those, Happy Gilmore, and Space Jam. The dance craze song of the year, Macarena. Came out in 1996 when Brian started working here. It was 14 weeks at #1 on the Billboard charts. Princess Diana was still alive. Hong Kong was still ruled by Great Britain. It's now under Chinese control again. The Utah population was about 2 million. We're now about 3.5. And South Weber's population was about 3,500. We're now over 8,200. When he started, there were 4 full-time employees in Public Works. It fluctuated between 3 and 5 over those first few years, he told me. Now we have 10 full-time employees in Public Works, for comparison. Things that did not exist when Brian started working for South Weber City. Our water employee, Adam Jordan. Google, Netflix, Wi-Fi, Facebook, the iPhone, Blu-ray discs were not a thing. DVDs actually just barely came out that year. Fiber, of course, internet, 5G, streaming, those things did not exist. UTA's tracks did not exist that year. And the International Space Station did not exist. Europe's current currency, the euro, did not exist. Harry Potter was not a thing. Of course, Real Salt Lake and the Utah Jazz Western Conference Finals Championships were not a thing when he started. Adams Avenue Toll Road did not exist. And of course, Canyons Meadow, any of it. The park, the subdivision, all of it did not exist at that time. The fire station, the Family Activity Center, the central water tank, none of which was here. In those 30 years that Brian has dedicated his work life to South Weber City, I realized that I have worked for 8 different organizations and Lance 11. We had to make sure that that was average. We looked it up. It's not a bad thing that we had those numbers, but very loyal in that time. But more importantly, in those 30 years, Brian worked hard every single day to make South Weber a better place. And I think he's accomplished that. He's held every single position that Public Works Department has had over those 30 years. And he's touched parks and streets and water and everything in between. So the difference that Brian has made is significant, and I'm happy to say on behalf of all of us, thank you, Brian. You're truly amazing.
Thank you. Funny because we didn't even have cell phones when I started either. I remember we had pagers. And if we were at town, we had to call. We had to go find a phone and call to see what the emergency was. And so kind of funny
Wow.
to think back to how long ago that was
Yeah.
and all the
Yeah,
things.
you sound really old.
Yeah, Deer Run wasn't a thing yet either, like the newer part of it.
Were you guys married? We got married right after, August after he started.
So it's easy to remember how long we've been married. How long? And when people ask me, it's 30 years.
Shaylee has a little something to present.
We thought, what better way to celebrate 30 long years with the pecan bars? So, food and answers. You can read that when you
Thank you.
have 2 sides.
Oh.
Lots of-
Well, thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank you.
I really appreciated working here all these years. I had a few years ago, somebody asked me, I accidentally hit join one of the groups that was the Facebook groups. I didn't mean to, and they said, well, do you live here? Like, well, technically, yeah. And they still denied me. I just thought I'd get on here to see if there's anything we can do for the citizens. Because we'd see things on there, and so that's why I was on there, but it was just kind of funny when they said that. And then I started thinking about it more. It's like, I truly am here more than I am at home, so,
Sure.
And we appreciate it.
yeah.
We look forward to 50.
Oh, yeah, no, I will.
Yeah.
Yeah, 50 years, no. I got too many things I want to go do. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian.
Thanks, Brian.
Okay, next item is our consent agenda, and we need to approve May 12th, 2026 minutes, May 26th, 2026 minutes, May's checks, April's budget to actual. Is there any discussion, changes, or corrections that need to be made? If not, we'll look for a motion to approve this consent agenda.
I actually do have one. Number 9, resolution 2614, intent to increase property tax revenue and set public hearing for August 11th. On that, I seconded that motion, but the motion was to set the public hearing for August 11th, not necessarily for the intent to increase the property tax. So I know we're just going off of the name that was on the agenda. But resolution 2614, page 5A, page 4 of 6, 12 minutes, page 39. And it's just in the blue. It says Councilman Windsor moved to approve resolution intent to increase property tax revenue and set a public hearing for August 11th. Councilman Davis seconded the motion, and I voted in agreement for it. I don't know, because I thought that that what we were doing was setting a meeting to have the public, or setting requiring a public hearing for it. So I don't know if there is something that can be changed on it, but
I
if there's not,
I don't think
I
there
don't
is.
know that there's anything you can change. This is, I get where you're coming from,
Yeah.
Councilmember Dills, because you don't want, the tax increase isn't certain yet, right? You're holding
Right.
the hearing, it hasn't been decided. The truth in taxation procedures changed and have been updated in the state.
Yeah,
And there's very specific language now that you have to use. And that motion and the way that you approved it was applying the statutory language.
okay,
And so I think for statutory adherence, we have to keep that language
Okay.
there. But I think it would be okay to reflect in the minutes of the meeting that your vote was intended to set the hearing and then to hold that hearing, not to make the final decision. And I think that can be in the meeting minutes today and then
Okay.
reflected there. And then after you hold the hearing, at some point you'll vote on
Yeah.
whether to move forward with the tax increase. But right now you just want people to be heard.
okay.
Yeah.
Perfect, thank you.
Anything else? We'll look for a motion then.
Mayor, I move to approve the consent agenda.
Second?
Seconded by Councilman Gales.
Yep.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, appreciate that. Next item, resolution 26-20, intended certified property tax rate. Any discussion on this resolution?
So what is it that we are voting yes or no on? Exactly. Just the rate that's going to be discussed during that meeting?
The intended rate that will be published moving forward to then hold the truth in taxation hearing in August.
Okay.
We are essentially declaring to the county our intent to hold the rate, that we then want to go through the public process of hearing the community's thoughts on that idea. And so we're setting that intended rate at the 1434. The exact percent difference from the certified tax rate is yet to be determined.
Yeah.
They've given us a preliminary number, but their final number will come next week. And so we don't know what our published percent increase will be off of that. But based on the preliminary number, it's less than 2%.
Okay, thank you, Dave.
Mayor, I move to approve resolution 26-20 intended property tax rate of 0.001434.
Seconded.
Okay, we have a motion, second by Councilman Davis. The roll call vote, starting with Councilman Windsor.
Aye.
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 Okay, motion carries. Thank you. Next, we need to move into our board meetings for the AD or RDA and LBA. So we'll look for a motion to suspend council and move into board meetings.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, in our RDA board meeting, we need to approve a consent agenda consisting of May 12th, 2026 minutes and May 26th, 2026 minutes. Any changes? Or are we good with the minutes? So we'll look for a motion.
Mayor, I move to approve the consent agenda. Or chairman, I should say, sorry.
Okay, that's good.
Seconded.
Second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I was Jeremy
Chairman.
Davis.
Board Member Davis. RDA Resolution 26-02, adopting Old Fort Community Investment Area fiscal year 2027 budget. Any discussion on this item? If not, then we'll look for a motion to approve this resolution.
Do we have the budget in the packet?
Yes.
Can you tell me what page?
You have to go to the RDA packet.
Oh, that's why. Okay. I'll go there. Thank you.
Is
there something you want to talk about before we make a
No.
motion?
So you can go in.
Our chairman, I move to approve resolutions 2602 as written.
Seconded.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. We'll do a roll call vote, starting with board member Alverson.
Aye.
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 Okay, motion carries. We'll ask for a motion to adjourn the RDA and convey in the local building authority board meeting.
So moved.
Seconded.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye. That was Davis.
Davis.
Johnny on the spot.
Okay, we're in our local building authority meeting. We need to approve the consent agenda consisting of May 12th, 2026 minutes and May 26th, 2026 minutes. Any corrections? If none, we'll look for a motion.
Chairman, I move to approve the consent agenda.
Do we have a motion? We have a second.
Seconded.
Board member Davis. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, one item here, the LBA resolution 26-03 adoption of fiscal budget or final budget fiscal year 2027. Any discussions here?
Chairman, I make a motion to approve resolution 2603, adopting the final 26-27 fiscal year budget.
Seconded.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to roll call vote, starting with board member Windsor.
Aye.
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 Okay, motion carries. We'll look for a motion to adjourn the board meeting and reconvene just back to city council.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We done going back and forth for a while on those board meetings? It's like every week.
I think that should about, other than probably the final.
Yeah,
budget,
once the final bond refunding process goes through, then we'll probably have another one, but that will be a month and a half or so from now.
Okay. So new business. Dave, were you able to get those pictures with Lisa? Lisa, if you'd put those up, I'd appreciate it. So I was up at Wasatch Integrated Board meeting last week, and they presented us with a few pictures and asked that we have a little discussion in our council meeting with a little problem.
Oh,
It's
wow.
not a little problem, it's a big problem. So as you can see here, this is at the MRF, which is the material recovery facility up there, so it's indoors. And the employee came first thing in the morning and she smelt a little bit of smoke. And so she identified it, where the smoke was coming from, took her loader and scooped that up. And when she scooped that up, it was buried, so it opened it up to oxygen. And when it opened it up to oxygen, it just exploded. And they had this fire up there. And the culprit for this fire is lithium batteries. So they're urging everyone, please, please, please do not throw your lithium batteries in the trash. This could have been a real serious problem up there had it ignited during the night with no one around. Now, it is equipped with a sprinkler system, but there would have been some pretty good damage done if that would have set that off. So they're asking everyone to please. And I think the smaller ones like AAA and AA, I think you're fine. But when you get into a lithium battery that's working a tool like a drill or a saw, or if you've got an electric weed trimmer, those bigger batteries, you cannot throw them away in your trash.
And they have a disposal site for them up there.
They
correct?
do. They have a disposal site up there as you come through the gate. And I'll talk about that next. Off to your left, they have their thrift store there and they have their disposal area where you can get, dispose of any batteries, chemicals of any kind. You just take them and they've got a shelf area there that you can just set them on and they'll dispose of them there. The other thing, they have the thrift store up there, and not everyone is aware of the thrift store that they have. People donate to the thrift store, just like you would to Deseret Industries. Rather than throw it away, if there's still some use to that, you're welcome to take it over to the thrift store and drop it off. Last month, they set an all-time record. They sold $25,598 worth of items there at the thrift store. So that's a pretty good chunk of change that they got that month. Like I said, it set a new record. Their sales are usually 200,000 a year they can make from items like that. So rather than throw it away, take it to the thrift store and donate it. They'd appreciate it. Okay. Anyone have any new business that they would like to bring up? Dave, you have anything? Council reports, starting with Councilman Windsor.
I have nothing to report.
Jeremy?
I have nothing. I have a question for the council. In looking at the recreation budget, as we know, most of the sports are all taken care of. They're self-sufficient. The rec center itself, though, is not, and the money is constantly being pulled out of the general fund for that. I would like to, I believe our contract says every few years, every 10 years or whenever, we can renegotiate with Davis School District. I would like to do that to see if there's any chance that we could change the way we share that building. Some of the costs, obviously, we need to make sure that that is getting, split on both sides. But one of the big problems that I'm always hearing with the rec center is that it's closed during the day. Obviously not during the summer, but that's because the school right there next to it uses it. I was wondering if we'd be able to move, say, like the exercise room, the equipment with all the weights and everything. And if we did that, would we be able to either put one of the secure gates like you see at the malls that come down, or something that would, even just a regular wall if we did, that would allow people to use a portion of the rec center throughout the entire day, the entire year. It's just something that we would be able to negotiate with. Maybe we can get it, maybe we wouldn't. And I don't even know if the council would be interested in doing something like that. It's just another chance of being able to recoup some of the money that we put into it. So I don't even know what you guys feel on it. So any thoughts?
I'm not sure where you put the weights.
So
They used to be in the back.
yeah,
When we didn't have many, they used to be back where the exercise, I don't know what you call it, yoga room, dance room.
yeah. Well, and I know that the spot where we always have our, like where we cook the food for when we go into there, that's a very easy one with doors that are on the outside of it that we would be able to possibly set that up as the weight room that would still prevent anyone from crossing back and forth, because the main thing we're looking for is still the protection of the kids. But if there's some way that we could do something like that, it would be, I think, beneficial for us.
I think they were using that as the music room. I think that is still what the elementary uses as music room. So they have kids coming back and forth from the schools all throughout the day to use the gymnasium and the music room from both the K2 and the 3-6 building. So I don't know feasibly how you could have somebody.
Piano, is that large enough? And that's, I guess, a question for them. Would that be large enough for them to do it? I don't know. And that's why I said this is really just an exploratory.
I think the
Just to
best
see.
option would probably be to leave them there and try and put a curtain or, pull down.
Uh-huh.
A curtain around it.
And if they could enter through a different door, then we could easily do that.
Yeah.
I think if we're trying to get Davis schools to fund or partially fund, then we have to come up with a pitch on how to use that current space for the school system somehow. Because the only other place that I could see us doing is you'd have to expand the upstairs and move all the weight rooms to like a new space to the south of the track, like which would be over top of the bathrooms and everything, right? Because
Well-
that's just open space right there, right?
I believe so. But I wouldn't, the intent is not to add any additional cost to it, because this is always a cost for the city. It's a service that we provide, but it is definitely always a straight out cost.
Yeah.
But I just, if you guys think we can
approach-
look at it or what, I don't know.
Probably the first thing would be to approach the school and see if they're.
Yeah.
up for it.
I think that installing any type of barrier though, partition would be very
Yeah,
cost
it would.
prohibitive. I hesitate to, we can ask them, but I think that's the reason that we have this shared space is they can use it during the school days without having to worry about other security. I mean, even when you go to pick up your child, you have to show your ID before they let you in the building. So we'd have to remodel to have some type of
Separate entrance.
separate entrance with our like front desk staff. I don't think that it's really financially, if it makes any sense.
Well, they could come through that back door. And again, this is just the chance to talk to them and ask them about it. So. But
Restroom facilities, I think, becomes part of that shared space conversation, that if
Yeah.
we have
that's true.
city patrons
Yeah.
versus
That
school
is, yeah.
patrons,
Yeah.
they're not separate bathrooms.
That is a
Yeah.
valid point, yeah.
And that, yeah, that's an issue.
The idea of, is there a way to utilize that space somehow during the day? If they're open to that conversation,
That's what,
is that what you're suggesting?
I-
Get more money out of it.
Yeah.
or get more money out of it.
I mean,
Yeah.
Well, in all honesty, yes. Whether it's the maintenance of the equipment or anything like that, having a larger portion of it, we're stuck not being able to fully utilize a family activity
Yeah.
center like other cities. And although it is still a cost, I mean, our hands are really tied by what the district and South Weaver negotiated. in
I don't
the
know
contract. So-
how often do we even talk to the school district? I mean,
We meet with them at least annually
Okay.
to talk through coordination items, and Curtis especially interacts with them regularly about coordination items.
because one of the big things is talking about the ongoing expense, but also them, we've already had the discussion internally here about us saving up to pay for upgrades.
Yeah,
They need to be doing the same. And I don't know how that discussion, I mean, it's not bad to, I mean, I think it should have a meeting with them and contract talks.
Yeah.
It's not bad, any of it's over.
The arrangement that we have with the school district is a model that the school district uses throughout the county. They're building a new facility in Kaysville with the same model. I
They-
believe West Point
There's
and
three of
other
them now.
cities that
There's
are
three.
all
Kaysville,
following
West
that same
Point,
thing.
Clinton.
Yeah,
Oh,
of school use during the day and city use outside of that. And so I know the school district likes that because they continue to enter into agreements similar.
I'm sure it's very beneficial for them.
Well, and I think broadly speaking, that it's also beneficial for cities who aren't able to finance an entire facility by themselves.
sure.
But at the same time, we could use it throughout the entire day on our own, to some extent.
So do you want the committee to be able to start this, talk to Dave and have them look into that or not?
Okay with it.
I think
Okay,
that's a
good.
conversation that Dave could probably have with them.
Sounds good.
Anything else, Joe?
Nope, that's it.
Angie?
Thank you, Mayor. I need to report on our, meetings with the train club. So Ren Strong is here. She's a representative from the train club. She has been in our meetings. She is acting as an admin for them. So we've had a few different changes, excuse me, the Train Club has had a few different changes in their presidents. So after a few changes since our city council meeting with them, John Grubb is the acting president. So John and Ren have been in our meetings, and I have to tell you, they're the most productive Train Club meetings we've ever had to date. It's been wonderful. So we are very, very close to having a new agreement to prevent toward to city council. So we've met twice with them. We'll be meeting again on Monday. Any questions on any of that? We can, okay. Anything you want to add, Mayor?
Probably not at this time. Yeah.
Okay. The other thing I wanted to bring up, I forgot to mention Public Safety Committee. I would love either Public Safety Committee or Dave or whoever, we need to reach out to Highmark during the summer again about parking on the street. It's such an issue, and I know that if we had any other business in town who did this habitually over and over and over every single day, there would be some action that had been taken. So with this development going in, I don't know how soon they'll be opening and actual construction, but summertime seems like a good time for us to revisit their pickup and drop off policies and try to hold them to that agreement that they told us they would do by allowing a different route for pickup, if I may say. So, last thing, Country Fair Days, one of the committee chairs reached out to me, wanted to confirm that we would do a Saturday activity on August 8th. And I said, the men folk are so excited to do this. So I committed you all, because she asked me.
Angie, again?
Yeah, men, it is 20 minutes. Yeah.
Oh, you mean at the park?
Yes, on Saturday, no big deal.
Also have another, airplane competition.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Like I've said, every year, I won't be doing it, so.
Okay, I feel like it's a great opportunity to let all the residents see the city council in action there. So it will be in the afternoon around 1 o'clock, 1:30.
Okay.
If you
I'll let
committed
you
us,
know.
we'll be there.
Thank you very much.
Did
It's for Saturday Country Fair Days, just a 10-15 minute spot for the city council to do an activity on stage.
I assume we're serving?
Yes, I also confirmed that we would be helping with dinner
Right.
on August 3rd.
Just a question, are they doing fireworks this year?
I did not ask, I don't know.
Does anyone know?
The answer is yes.
They are planning on fireworks. Okay.
Did you also commit us to being afloat in the parade?
Blair already committed us to that.
I don't recall that, but sure.
We need some upgrades to our, water guns, I think.
Yes,
More.
I'll buy some more water
More
guns.
powerful.
Okay,
I've seen the ones on TikTok. Just saying, there's pretty cool ones out there.
I haven't.
You're in charge.
Yeah,
You're in
that's
charge,
true.
Jeremy.
That's you.
You're in charge.
Jeremy, you got it.
That's all that I have on that.
Blair,
I don't have anything to report, no. I would like to put a public works meeting together or a municipal utilities committee meeting together. So,
maybe one other thing that might be worth mentioning is, I believe it was last week, but I got a telephone call from Colonel Cornelius out at Hill Air Force Base. And they had I don't know if you'd call it a chemical leak, but I think that's what he referred to it as, that came over the hill and down into South Weber. And he called and wanted us to be aware of it. That said that they were on top of it totally. When they have something like this, there's 4 agencies that they have to notify. And he said, we notified all of them immediately, which is the state, the EPA, and 2 other ones. He says it came down and into the canal. And he said it would be about a week before they knew exactly what was in that. What happened was a sewer line clogged, backed up into a manhole, and it ran out of the manhole and then down into the canal.
Yeah.
But he
delicious.
says,
It was their industrial wasteland.
he says,
Not a
we're
regular swirl.
doing everything that we possibly can, and there really isn't any danger to South Weber City. We just wanted to make you aware of that, so. That'd be worth mentioning. Other than that, that's. Dave, have you got anything? Shaylee, it's great to have you
Welcome
back.
back.
Welcome back. Everything going good with the baby? And I bet he is. I mean, look at his mother. What else? Well, that's great. Good to have you back. Okay, if nothing else, we'll look for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All in favor, say yes.
Seconded.
Second, Councilman Davis. All in favor, say